this your idea of letting us face our fears?
It's real.
No, I get what they say about shadow people.
Welcome.
Oh my god, really? A pipe burst!
This season, Haunt Me becomes Haunt Us. So buckle up and get ready to come on the road with us. We will absolutely be sleep deprived.
Our first stop on the road trip is Belvoir Winery, the former Oddfellows Hall. There's a lot going on here in a lot of space, so it's going to be a pretty big undertaking for us. So I've met the owner, and he and his incredibly gracious family have invited us out here to explore for the next 2 nights. We're the furthest we've ever been from home, so thank you for inviting us here to the Belvoir Winery. Jesse, you have owned this for a couple of years, right?
Yes, we've owned it actually for 25 years, but the winery itself has been open about 8 years.
That's awesome.
There was actually a hotel which sat on the same site where the current winery building is, and it was built in 1880, and it was an all-wood structure. And then in 1895, the Oddfellows purchased that building and turned it into an orphanage. Orphanage was here from about 1895 until the mid-50s. Valentine's Day, 1900, the original structure burned down. There was actually a cook that went down to thaw some pipes in the basement, and when he went to thaw it, he actually ended up catching part of the structure on fire, and it all burned to the ground. When we purchased the property in 1993, it was still a nursing home at that time.
Okay.
So we shut down the nursing home, and then we did a lot of gutting and working with the property, and then eventually started renovating around 2008 along those lines, and then turned it into what it is now, which is a winery, an event space, and a bed and breakfast.
And so during that time, when did you start to notice that there was something different about it?
I think I started to notice some stuff where it was like things would just happen, simple stuff like voices, footsteps, things like that. And then about a year in, I ended up seeing an apparition like of a little boy in the ladies' room. And then there's been a lot of guest reports lately because of the inn in the winery. We have people seeing apparitions in the rooms, voices, footsteps. We had a guy last night that stayed at the inn, and he was with his wife, and this man was like 300 pounds, extremely muscular, big burly guy, and he refused to sleep here without the lights on last night.
So as far as the hauntings go, would you mind taking us in, maybe ending in this area and starting in the hauntings of the other two buildings as well?
Walk around to the different main spaces?
Yeah, because there's a lot to take in. We have a big campus.
Absolutely.
So, cool, awesome. Well, I'll follow you. It's gorgeous.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
This place is so pretty. It's, gosh, it's so beautiful, and we're reading through these guest books, and people who stay here write about their experiences, and some of them are just normal experiences of, hey, this place is beautiful. And then some of them kind of explore and talk about the paranormal and some of those experiences they've had. So I'm curious to see what we experience based on that. So tell us a little bit about this building.
Yeah, so this is called the Old Folks Home. We have long hallways. This building's in the shape of an H, basically. And so we have long hallways on either end and then a big one down the middle. In each of these rooms, there'd be like 1, maybe 2 people that would be staying in those rooms. So activity in this area, we've had people touched, pushed. Right after someone was touched in this hallway, there was like an apparition that formed up a little higher up in the hallway.
Wow.
I've personally seen a shadow figure like pop out of one of the doorways down the hallway. And we were setting up for an event at the time, and so we went down. We didn't want people to get mugged when they came in, and so we checked to make sure it wasn't a squatter and went into the room, and there was just like nobody in there, and there was no way out of the room at all.
Right.
We've also had footsteps, voices that you can hear the sound on the floor. I mean, it's easy to hear footsteps in this building and that kind of stuff.
I think that's good to mention too, because you mentioned that you're going to have security patrolling the perimeters tonight to make sure that there's no one in here with us. We're completely alone. So that's huge, because like people could hide, so it's like a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing is, if you guys need them to clear any spaces too, just let them know. They're more than happy to do it. They love it.
Yeah, if we come across living people, we're like, done.
If only we had that in Sanford.
I know.
The rundown parts of it reminded me a little bit of Waverly and Penhurst, but it's definitely the most dangerous place that we've investigated. There's a lot of places you could just fall through the floor, or it could fall on you, or it's just run down. It is falling apart. It looks like it was just left how it was.
Let's head back over to the orphanage and check out what's going on over there, because I think that's going to be our hub for the evening. But we do have to say that the hospital, we should just, on the sake of time, explore it on foot, understand what's going on over there. So after the nursing home tour, I went over to the hospital because I didn't want to find any structural insecurities when it was dark by falling through them. So I figured a quick tour of the building while it was still light out was our best bet. To end our tour, Jesse took us back to the Orphanage, which is the renovated part of the campus and probably one of the most beautiful places that Belvoir has to offer.
So I did a lot of research on Belvoir Winery, but I did a lot of research on it as the Oddfellows home and learning about what that society was built on and what they cherished and what they promoted. So I'm excited to delve into that more and learn more about them and then how that might affect our investigation tonight.
As I understand it, the Oddfellows were a very charitable organization.
Yes.
Did they reside here in this building or on this campus? What was their involvement with this area?
Yeah, so basically they ran the entire complex. And so they would be the ones that took care of things as far as in the actual children's home, they would take care of the kids.
Oh, okay.
And then in the other places, those would be mostly the Oddfellows staying in those places. They would build 1 or 2 of these homes in each state, and the purpose was charitable for the poor, for the orphans, for old folks, and then a hospital to care for all those people. At the height of the Oddfellows, just as an example, here in Missouri, there would have been roughly about 1,400 lodges in the state of Missouri alone. And now in comparison, there's about 40 left. So it's a much smaller organization.
Those lodges would funnel orphans, elderly, and people who needed hospital care here?
Yep. Here, or in the case of Missouri, there was actually 2 homes. There was one in St. Louis as well. The St. Louis one is no longer in existence. This one is, in fact, this is one of the few that's actually left in existence out of all the homes they had across the nation.
The Oddfellows, when they would initiate someone, would make them face their own mortality. And they would do that by showing them in a darkened room with candles an actual skeleton. So what I've done is to sort of show our own camaraderie and tip our hat to that ritual, created our own. So we're going to sit in front of the same skeleton that they may have experienced themselves, and we're going to offer our shadow thoughts to them, our deepest fears, in order to sort of align ourselves with their beliefs.
This will be really interesting when we try the ritual that we have for today, because I think it might either spark some memories for Oddfellows who may have worked here, or it'll probably weird out some people that weren't Oddfellows. So we're gonna try and connect with them on that level and see what happens.
Well, either way, their skeleton is here.
Yep.
So like,
Yeah.
this isn't a bad place to start this. There are ritual items in the basement, right?
Yes, some of the Oddfellows ritual items are
Right.
downstairs.
So
Yep.
this is not a place like this is Oddfellows through and through, you know? So,
Yep.
well, thank you for taking us on a tour.
Sure.
I think we're gonna meet George and then get ready to go.
Sounds good.
Let's do
cool.
this.
Let's do it.
As we spread out into the US, we're creating a glossary of paranormal locations.
Starting here at Belvoir, we have a cornucopia of evidence to go through already. There's EVPs, there's claims of people being touched, object manipulation, light anomalies, sounds coming from nowhere, shadow figures, and even other things too.
Given all of this evidence, we're going to pre-rate the Belvoir Winery a 6. So, we're here. This is it. And we're gonna start our investigation. I'm actually like a little nervous. I don't know why, but
Because it's coming down to game time.
like,
and
this is it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I feel like, we know how dangerous it's going to be.
Right.
It's huge. There's a lot of different claims. Like, I feel my anxiety heightening a little bit as well.
It makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah, I think there's a lot riding on it too.
Right.
We have a lot of space to cover, and your idea for a not ritual but honoring
Yeah.
of the spirits that are
Honoring.
here.
And how did you put it? Paying homage to them, basically?
Yeah, essentially, because I want to level with them. You know, we always talk about holding space, and I think this is a good way to say, hey, we see you, we see what you did and what you.
I hope you see what
Yeah.
we're doing
Exactly.
as well. I think that's a genius idea, Anna.
Right.
I hope it helps the investigation as like a trigger almost, like it brings that energy or sparks something up.
So in order to be welcomed in the Oddfellows space, we're going through a similar thing that the Oddfellows would have to do.
Right.
We are not Oddfellows, so just coming in and doing their ceremony would be kind of like a faithless mimic in a way. So Anna's taken the actual ritual of the Oddfellows initiation and has morphed it into a way that Haunt Me can show honor in what they do and the practices that they keep.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Okay, so I think just before you start what you're doing, Anna, we should go see George.
Okay.
It's the skeleton of this Oddfellow campus.
God, that's so
Donated?
unnerving.
Donated. So apparently, they're all called George.
Yeah.
All Oddfellows halls would have them. It's a skeleton of a former member who passed away in 1880, donated his body to this fellowship. And when you do that, you become George. So if you travel anywhere you go for an Oddfellows hall, if they have one, its name will always be George.
That's cool.
So it's all level playing field, you know,
Yeah.
like you give your identity over to the next members. So
Yeah.
Jesse's George, which they discovered here, I guess, is down the hall and to the right.
Those purple lights outside are so unnerving.
So he's over here.
My God.
Coffin was also made in 1880.
Are you serious?
This is him, yeah. So from where we're at now, it's a 140-year-old person.
Oh my God.
I don't know how to accurately respond to this.
I don't either. It's real.
It's absolutely
Like you
real.
can tell it's real. Look at that.
All right.
We picked the room to do the ceremony because originally the Oddfellows would do their ceremony with George. In essence, I wanted to have him there to kind of echo that ceremony and connect us to the Oddfellows. The crystal grid that I planned out for this ceremony is really based on psychic connection. So it's about elevating our thoughts to a higher level so we can connect with those on the other side or in another dimension. The Oddfellows have a symbol, and that's with 3 links connected together. They each have an individual color and represent truth, friendship, and love. What I've done is replicated that, but in all white, where each of our fears will be written on each chain link. The idea is after the ritual, when we've released our fears, we'll either burn or bury the chain link to break ourselves from that which holds us back.
And so in order to become part of the Oddfellows Society, you had to be first an initiate. And so the initiate color is white. So that's why Anna's chosen white ribbons for us to do this on.
It shows them, we see you, we see your tradition and your initiations and all that you do. And this is our style, the way we do it, and we're just trying to respectfully meet you on your level.
I think that's exactly right.
So now that we have most of this set
In the presence of George.
in the presence of George and all that George represents, I'm going to start first by activating this. So we're acknowledging our desire to explore our shadow selves in all that, in all aspects of that.
That's a big claim.
In part, some parts of that, because we are human beings, right? We're always growing and always changing. So here we're
Always evolving.
always evolving. We're going to examine one part of our shadow selves and come to terms with that.
Wait, those are sprinklers.
Oh my God, really?
No.
That's coming out of the ice box.
It's coming out of the ice box.
Get a bucket, get a bucket. Get a
Right? A pipe burst.
Does someone have Jesse's? I don't have my phone on me.
She'll get him.
Wait, we should get some towels.
Bucket's right there. Anna, your magic's too good.
I'm sorry. I need towels.
How the did that happen? back of that is cluttered.
Do you see the water shut off?
No. Holy shit.
Carol, I know. I'm trying not to get the outlet. Can we get the light on in here?
This isn't turning.
What? Okay, it's blowing outlets right now. See it? It's probably on this thing.
You want me to get it?
I got it.
Yep. Hold on. Holy f***. How did that happen? How the f*** did that happen?
Walk out there, a hose had come off, this like metal hose had come off the friggin' ice thing and was exploding into the air, into some outlets. And I need a bucket.
Eventually we got it shut down, but it took me a solid 15 minutes to recover from that whole escapade.
If you didn't like our ceremony, please don't do that again. That's all.
Next problem, I look down, where's the water? It's not on the floor. Where's the water? We go into the basement, it's going down through the basement, the length of the basement, out a door, and then the scrambling to get all, the valuables up off the floor. Ty and I, we're not fighting over this, but we're like, you know what, this is not paranormal. This is not paranormal. But when we're like saying it, we're like, what the hell? I mean, the timing.
Everything's taken care of down there.
Yeah.
It was a false start to the night because we didn't get our initiation done. Maybe that was our initiation.
Are we in?
Are we in?
Are we
Are we
in?
good?
Are we good?
So what we have to do is that crisis has been averted.
I feel like you're partially like trying to calm down my anxiety.
Oh, I know. The instant we heard the water start, I had a moment where I said to myself, you messed up. Why you shouldn't have delved into this, you shouldn't have done this. This was a bad decision. I was really grateful that Ty and Carol pushed me to continue. Honestly, I would have just stopped. I would have just not done it had they not said, we really should see this through. We really should finish this out.
Pen for you?
This is
Pen
mine?
for you.
Okay.
All right, let's do
Lost
this
track of
again.
that pen real quick. Do you want my flashlight on?
I'm sorry, it is weird, the water thing. I wish that hadn't popped into my head, because now I'm stuck on it.
As a fire sign, I won't put a firestone in the middle because I like this place a lot.
Jeez.
What was that?
That was out there. That wasn't me putting my
Do
flashlight
you not
down.
want to? Oh, you guys, I just got this overwhelming static feeling, and
Hello?
Okay, hang on, let me pull out.
I'm all tingly all over. I
Okay, she
all
is
my
too.
hairs.
Carol, can you grab my K2 meter or my bag? Hello? I don't have anything. It's okay, just stay right where you are. Do you want us to come back to the foyer here? Hello? We have 2 other buildings that we have to visit tonight, but we'll stay right here if you want us to.
I mean, I didn't hear it, but from what you guys are saying, it sounded like movement or something dropped, maybe?
And then, but I'm not used to this building and the halls echo though, you know?
Oh, I haven't even been in here. This is lovely.
This isn't really echoey, though.
In my pocket, I have this nice black stone that Anna gave me. We keep trying to go use it, and someone's not letting us.
Is this your idea of letting us face our fears?
I'm feeling it in the hallway.
Mm-hmm, same.
Do you think these are real crystal?
I don't know.
You'd be the one to.
I know.
Oh my.
What
Whoa.
was that? Something was right
Something
behind
just
you.
touched
Yeah,
me.
and this just went off.
Hi, thank
Okay,
you.
yeah.
I got static on my arms again. Look.
I'm coming over. Recorder.
So at the same time, whatever happened with you over there, I felt something go like this.
Just a little spike in the room. So that's an interesting thing too. It's like, so did something just bubble up in the room really quick enough to manifest that it set this meter off, but was nowhere near me? You know,
Right. Very interesting.
So controversial thought. As a paranormal investigator, I say we go back to the room and try again. That's what's getting us activity.
Yeah, you're right.
Then we go chase it and it stops.
We said if you don't want us to do this, please blow out the candle. And if you are powerful like you seem, I assume you will blow out the candle if you don't want us to do this. This seems like you're getting our attention. I don't know if you want to tell us something, which we can absolutely work on that. But we are going to try to finish this. And I'm holding you to it. Everyone that's listening, if you don't want us to finish this, blow out the candle.
Well, we kept kind of getting noises everywhere but where we were. And part of me thinks that people were curious, or maybe they wanted to talk to us outside of that room. There could be a number of reasons why that kept happening. Maybe they don't like that room. Maybe they didn't like what we were doing. Maybe they just wanted to spend time with us just elsewhere where they enjoy spending time.
Each of these candles represent us. They act as a guide as we examine our shadow thoughts and face our fears. In solidarity, we write our fears on these ribbons to keep them with us and eventually release ourselves from them. Go ahead.
Anna asked us all to come up with the darkest shadow thoughts to aid her Oddfellows ritual. My shadow thought is abandonment.
My shadow thought is my fear of death.
So the best way for me to describe my shadow thought is through a quote from a musical, and that is, I imagine death so much it feels more like a memory. With my experiences with mental health and my struggles with that, there comes frequent times where you question your validity as a person in this world. I'm ready to let that go.
With the first part of the ritual complete, who wants to look in the mirror?
I'll go.
Okay.
We were gifted this black obsidian mirror, and we are super excited to see what it has to offer. So the metaphysical thought here is that while gazing into it and meditating, you can see things almost like a crystal ball. The scientific is that with it being so dark, it's not really providing your brain with enough data or information. So your brain being a processor is kind of filling in the blanks, mimicking that of the Oddfellows, where they would go into a darkened room and literally look death in the face.
What do you think of our ritual?
What was that?
Someone should go look. My eyes are black and my ears are pointed.
Who are you?
And I'm gone.
Are you here? Are you trying to scare us?
Carol.
Yeah.
It's a fat man, glowing eyes, sideburns, bald, double chin, buck tooth. And just mad at the camera. I know the camera's not picking up anything. Just.
Were you an odd fellow?
There's all done.
What did they look like?
Does anyone have a piece of paper? I can actually draw it. What's been explained to me that it works is that the face starts to manipulate into something else that you're supposed to see. And so what I saw staring back at me after a while was a grumpy looking man with very thick sideburns, bald, with like the ring of hair around his head, pointy ears, and he kind of had like a buck tooth type of look and a double chin. So much ground to cover. We could stay all night in this room and get enough information, and that's not our goal tonight. Our goal is to make sure that tomorrow night we are hitting it hard where we need to be. So we ask anyone, as we try to initiate ourselves and face our fears, face our mortality like you guys would. We're going to be going to the other two buildings right now, and if you're not comfortable speaking, find someone who is. Find someone who can reach out to one of us. It doesn't matter who, we're all on the same team, and we hope you guys are on that other side as well. And we will, wherever you are, if you can hear our voice, we're ready to tell your story.
Where do we head to next?
The nursing home.
The nursing home. And the floors there are really rickety.
Yeah, we're going into a place where we just could have spent all night to a place that is structurally probably the most dangerous place that we've gone into so far throughout all 7 seasons. Just as active, but with less desire to sit down on the ground and do a spell with Anna.
Far
going
less.
This way.
All right, put your masks on.
Hello?
Oh, I can taste it.
That's pretty flooded.
Okay.
So this
is the area where a lot goes down.
Shadow people darting from left to right. What's in here?
This is big. What
I'm
is
gonna
it?
adjust the flashlight.
It's the brewery. Seriously though.
Why though?
Is it?
Yeah, you put beer in that.
It looks like it, right?
I mean, we could be wrong.
We're 100% wrong, but that's.
I mean, it looks like what you put beer in.
Is that an oak barrel? What was that?
What the f was that?
Was it your toe on that? Nope.
No. Okay, that was.
Hold on.
Is there something in there, Carol? Yeah, there's got to be something dripping on it.
I think that is dripping, but
Where are we?
I don't know.
I don't like it back here.
No, this is where there's reports of like bad feelings. I'd like to explore upstairs and see what we can get in the hallways up there. Does that sound like an okay idea? You walk in, and not just the sight of the place or the state that it's in, it just feels oppressive. It feels like you're being watched, and that watch is like closing in on you.
I think the bulb is, something's loose.
The soy boys are here.
Oh my bad. So
So I brought the FLIR attachment.
I'll shut it off when she stops.
Thank you, Anna. Anna, your outsides are 86 degrees. Your legs are hot.
Aren't they though?
Is there anyone out there? I'm not getting a feeling.
No, I get what they say about shadow people.
What do you mean? Seeing something?
Yeah, I mean, could be that like dark space in between your eyes.
One hot stairwell.
I'm kind of behind you. I just don't want to freak you out.
Hello? We're here to visit. What?
What?
That wasn't you?
Was that you down the hall?
What was it, like a grumble?
It's like a bang?
Running upstairs.
It sounded like something largish moving.
That was not comforting, Erin.
I'm looking for something largish on the heat signature.
What were you saying, Anna? You just talk, because I had a good feeling while you were talking, like saying hello.
Hello? We came to visit. See how you're doing?
We're here with permission. I can't see where I'm going.
Do you need any light?
If you can shine it at my feet. Yeah, that's perfect.
Do we have your permission to be here? If not, please make a loud noise.
Oh my God.
What?
I just saw a shadow. I absolutely saw it with my eyeballs.
Where are we at? Where are we talking?
See that? Is that a brown door?
Yep.
Yeah.
If that's a window through the brown door.
I'm just going to hold my flashlight up like I did.
Yep. No, it's like that, whatever the white, teal was black.
Okay.
And then it turned teal, like something moved out of the way. That was solid. Okay. Okay. Yeah. If you want to come close to me, it'll make this cool light light up for me. I thought I saw you, but I could be wrong.
That just went up to orange.
His?
Yep.
I'm actually, if you don't mind, I'm going to come into the room where I thought I saw you. And if you're still there, just stay right where you are, and this light will light up for me.
Just making sure there's a floor.
Oh, thank God, Carol. Thank you. I didn't even think of it. No? I'm going to back out because Carol reminded me that some of these rooms don't have floors. So that was very unwise of me. Are you down this hallway?
It was black and then something sweeped and it became white. So something was maybe standing behind the door that was solid enough to block light and then moved away when we made ourselves known.
We actually have a lot of ground to cover tonight. So if you want to follow us, that'd be great. We're heading over to the hospital. So if there's anyone in this building that can hear me, you know, just come right along. That'd be great to have you. We're just really looking forward to speaking with you tonight and tomorrow night. So it'd be awesome if you can come along. That scared me.
Oh, careful, careful, careful. This went right in my eye. Careful, guys. Oh, careful right here. Hole.
Hello?
The hospital looks derelict, not as bad as the nursing home, and it's definitely more stable to stand on. But it also feels a bit more open and inviting over there. That crushing feeling of being observed that I'm actually feeling right now is not over there in a way. It almost feels more open and inviting, and our questions seem to be a little bit better and more creative over there because there wasn't that instinctual urge to just get out.
My legs are killing me. Just lean up against this big thing.
Hello. My name is Anna. I'm with Carol and Ty. We've been trying to talk to somebody here at the hospital. We haven't been able to find anybody. Can you help us? Do you work here?
If you're an odd fellow, what do you think of us trying to relate to you through our initiation that we did earlier? Have you heard about it?
It's hitting red.
Is it?
Just did twice.
Okay, that's... Follow that. Thank you for looking at Carol, staring at the stars.
Me too.
I think we all just switched because I was looking up. Nope, just hit it a third time.
Let's talk more about your surgeries then. What are you a doctor of? I went to college and I wanted to be an anesthesiologist, but that got real hard really fast. So now I walk through buildings like this at night.
How old were you when you had your first surgery?
We'll listen back.
Hmm.
Hello. My name is Anna. I'm with Carol and Ty.
Just stay with us and listen, please.
Somebody here at the hospital. We haven't been able to find anybody. Can you help us? Do you work here?
If you're an odd fellow, what do you think of us trying to relate to you through our initiation that we did earlier? Have you heard about it?
Hitting red.
Is it?
Just did twice.
Okay, that's... Follow that. Thank you for looking at Girl Staring at the Stars.
Me too. I think we all just switched because I was looking up. Nope, just hit it a third time.
Let's talk more about your surgeries then. What are you a doctor of? I went to college and I wanted to be an anesthesiologist, but that got real hard really fast.
That was me laughing.
That was the laugh? Okay.
Now I walk through buildings like this at night.
How old were you when you had your first surgery?
Was there something there? I feel like anticipation of answer, but nothing.
Yeah. I need it pretty blatant.
Yeah.
The interesting thing here is that a lot of people come investigate. So you'd think that if a spirit wanted to talk, they would maybe know how to at this point. So there's something that we weren't doing that we need to switch up our tactics to be more welcoming, inviting, and have entities want to give us information.
Obviously, we need to switch up our tactics on these other two buildings.
Yeah.
Like, I think we get so worked up during the walk through about like how creepy they look that like we're I don't know, I was getting creeped out all afternoon.
Right.
We knew that we had spread ourselves too thin, and that was the point. We wanted to make sure that we covered all of the expansive area and triaged so that we could really focus and hone in on the second night. Luckily, on night 2, we invited 2 great paranormal investigators to come help us. First, Rihanna Wilson. She has been investigating for years alongside her husband, Grant. Her help would be instrumental during the second night. Then secondly, we had Dustin Perry, who was on Sci-Fi's Ghost Hunters for a very long time and does a ton of independent work now, and we are so thankful to add their skills to our investigation on the second night.
If this was a one-night event, this is a time that I would force us to go until like dawn.
I know, yeah.
Like, because we came all this way and we're getting blips and hits. We are fortunate enough that we have 2 nights and 2 experts coming so that we can wrap up what we want to do in here tonight, game plan all day tomorrow, and then just hit it hard tactically tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yep.
Before we closed down the investigation and went to bed, I really wanted to complete the ritual that we had begun. I wanted to break the chain and release our shadow thoughts, admitting that these existed within ourselves, that we recognize them, and that we will learn from them, just like the Oddfellows did.
So we are releasing ourselves from our fears and our shadow thoughts. We break the chain that holds us.
By triaging all the buildings, we laid the groundwork during night 1. Everything rests on our investigation tomorrow. I planned an expanded ritual to do with Rihanna and Dustin, and I hope this will help us bond with the residents here as we pay homage to the Oddfellows and their ceremonies. Hopefully, this will allow us to step closer to the spirits in the orphanage and also understand a bit more what we're seeing inside the nursing home. Night 2 at Belvoir Winery, our search for answers continues.